Hi, everybody. It's March 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day. And I think I've read this book to you, but it's such a good classic that I want to read it to you again. And it's Corduroy. Remember that one? You may or may not remember it. And it's by Don Freeman. So when you look at the front cover, what do you think this story is going to be about? Okay. What's this called? Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. Look how he is. Oh, little Corduroy. What do you notice about his overalls? The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Oh, poor Corduroy. It's a busy shopping place. People are buying things. But there's Corduroy. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's that very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." And you already knew that, didn't you? Does that seem to bother her at all, that he has a button missing? Look at the look on her face. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. Oh, look at her feelings now. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight, I'll go and see if I can find it." Where do you think he's going to go look? Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. There he goes. He goes climbing down. And there he is, starting to look everywhere for that lost button. What is this? What do you think he's going to do? Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. Have you ever been on an escalator? Could this be a mountain, he wondered? I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. Why do you think it thinks this might be a mountain? He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there, before his eyes, was a most amazing sight. What do you see? Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace." Why do you think he thinks it's a palace? Have you ever been to a store like this where there are lamps and beds and couches and chairs? He wandered around admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. He doesn't normally sleep in a bed, does he? Where does he normally sleep? All at once, he saw something small and round. What did he see? "Why, here's my button," he cried. And he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. So some mattresses have these buttons like that are just sewed in. He thought that was his. Poor Corduroy. Oh no, what happened? He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button. And off the mattress, Corduroy toppled. What do you think toppled means? If he pulled on the button and the button started flying and he flew backwards like that, and it says, and off the mattress, Corduroy toppled, what do you think that means? Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Oh no. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. What do you think going his rounds means? When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." Is there normally movement around in a department store at night? Are there normally people walking around or bears walking around at night? Oh, this is one of my favorite pictures of any picture book. What do you see there? He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" Oh, how does Corduroy feel now? The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Oh. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. What do you think is going to happen? Look at her looking at him like that. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." Wow. She used her very own money on Corduroy. Why do you think she wanted him so badly? I mean, he had some overall problems here. His button is missing. He looks a little old. Why do you think she wanted him? You think there's something special about him for some reason? What do you think? "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the sales lady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. Oh, look at that. She didn't need a box, did she? She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment, straight to her own room. Look at how she feels. What do you think she's feeling right now? Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed, just the right size for him. Oh, he's always wanted to sleep in a bed, remember? The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. This must be home, he said. I know I've always wanted a home. Oh, Corduroy finally has a place where he feels comfortable and loved. Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. I like you the way you are, she said, but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened. Oh, I think it's nice that she tells him that she likes him the way he is. She's just trying to help him feel a little more comfortable. You must be a friend, said Corduroy. I've always wanted a friend. Me too, said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. Oh. What do you think they do for each other? Why do you think Lisa wanted Corduroy so badly? And why do you think Corduroy feels happy inside? I feel like they do something for each other, don't you? This is one of the best books of all time for sure. So that was Corduroy, and it was by Don Freeman. Classic book. So now, of course, I want you to write something about Corduroy. Write your favorite part, or maybe it reminded you of something, or maybe you just want to write what happened in the book. Maybe you could write that Corduroy had no button and he wanted to look for it. Try retelling this story yourself. So when I turn this off, I want you to try to say what happened first, second, third, fourth, and last from this book. And then write something about it in your journal or whatever paper you have you're using. And then it might be fun to draw. If you have any construction paper or any kind of paper, it would be really fun to make first a cutout of a bear for Corduroy, and then make a separate outfit that you could cut out and glue on. And you could make the straps, you could make an extra button that she sews on. So you could make different parts. So again, you have the bear, and then you have the overalls on a separate paper cutout and a separate button. And then you can put it off and on. Might be kind of fun. You could also draw a picture of Corduroy and label all the parts. Label the missing button, the straps. You could label his ears, his eyes, his paws, or you could say hands, feet, overalls. So spend some time on Corduroy. He's a special bear, and I will see you a little bit later. I miss you guys. Bye.